Greetings, everyone, and welcome back to the land of the paint-splattered TV. Yeah, I honestly have no idea how that happened. I guess somebody was painting their apartment and got it all over the TV. They didn't get it on the screen, so I don't know. Like I said in a previous episode, it was free in a stairwell. It works, so I'm not really complaining. Even the speakers work. You'd think they'd be shorted out from all the paint all over them, but no, they're not. They're fine. Alrighty, so today we're continuing on with the epic overview of my PS2 games library. Today we're going to take a look at free roaming games. Yeah, so third-person free roaming action fests. Definitely a favorite genre of mine. I just love the whole go anywhere, do anything kind of thing. By the way, excuse the fan in the background. You can probably hear it a little bit. It's really, summer is definitely settling in, so sorry, you're just going to have to put up with the fan. Yeah, so free roaming. I guess my first experience with free roaming was Grand Theft Auto 3. Now, I should clarify, the idea of a free roaming environment had been around for many years prior to Grand Theft Auto 3. I mean, especially in the form of role-playing games and such, quest-based, where you could just kind of roam around, do anything, do the quests in whatever order you want. That was, long-time RPG players were no stranger to that concept. However, Grand Theft Auto 3 took it to another place. It put it, instead of into a fantasy setting, put it in the real world, or a close approximation of the real world, and really brought the whole concept of free roaming environments to the masses, where you could just roam around, do anything, and put it in, and gave you a mob story and this living, breathing city to explore at your leisure. You could do the story missions, unlock more areas to explore, and then, when you finish the story missions, you can just mess around as much as you want and do pretty much whatever you want. The limits are very few as far as what you can do. And since Grand Theft Auto 3 just kind of turned the whole gaming world on its ear, a lot of other games have followed suit and offered free roaming environments and games and whatnot that take you to other worlds, man. It's just great stuff. Alrighty, so free roaming action-adventure games. That's what we're going to talk about today on the PS2 Multimedia Chronicles Overview series of videos that I'm doing here today. Welcome back. So you may be wondering, hey Sean, how come you're wearing a Batman shirt for a video about PS2 free roaming games? Well, one of the big significant games for the, Batman games for the PS2 was, of course, Batman Vengeance, which I remember playing and thinking, man, this would be even better if it was a full-blown free roaming Gotham. But alas, it was not. It still gave you a fair amount of freedom, but, it's kind of the illusion of freedom. It was actually pretty linear, but, man, if that had been free roaming, that would have been even better. But that's a game we'll talk about in another video. For now, why the Batman shirt? Well, I don't have any GTA shirts. And hey, if anyone's free roaming, it's Batman. Nobody tells the goddamn Batman where to go. Alrighty, so let's take a look and see what I got for my collection of free roamers. Okay, here we go. The genre that changed everything. Well, after all my talking about Grand Theft Auto 3, I don't actually have Grand Theft Auto 3 in physical form. I do have it on the PSN. Rockstar Games had a few actually, Rockstar Games sales, and I picked up all the PS2 Grand Theft Auto games via the PSN. So even though I don't have all of them in physical form, I do have all of them officially in digital form. So, that's the ones I have in physical form. Boom! Grand Theft Auto Vice City, which for a while people thought was Grand Theft Auto 4, but it's actually not. It's Grand Theft Auto 3 Part 2, I guess you could call it. Yeah, this is easily my favorite of the Grand Theft Auto games because, well, I'm an 80s kid, and this is the 80s incarnate. It's just fantastic. Love the soundtrack in this. Love the gameplay, love the neon-drenched city, just everything about it. I mean, it feels like you stepped into the world of Miami Vice. And some very clear inspirations from Miami Vice. It even has Philip Michael Thomas in it, doing the voices of one of the main characters. So here we've got quite a lot of packing material, and this is the reason to get them in physical form. So we got the beautiful you got full track listings for all the radio stations, so you can see all the licensed music that they used. It's beautiful, colorful, 80s themed manual, just fantastic. I love this, everything about this game so much. It's just great stuff. And then, of course, we actually have, let me just move this out of the way. We actually have a poster slash map. So we got the poster there, which is quite nice. But then on the back, we've actually got like a huge map of all of Vice City. So how cool is that? So needless to say, when you're playing the game, you'll be referring to this quite a bit. This is the one major thing you really lose with the digital versions, is having these big fold-out physical maps, because boy, are they ever useful when you're milling about town. And I should show you something else I have as well, actually. Sorry, did I bump the thing? I bumped the thing, didn't I? So obsessed was I with the game and wanting to find and explore absolutely everything and not miss a darn thing, I picked up the strategy guide too. Yes, this is the official Brady Games strategy guide for Vice City. And it also has a big honkin' map, but in this case, we got this beautiful poster of, I can't even fit it, this is a huge poster. It's Lance Vance, Phil Michael Thomas's character, quite cool. Now on the back, you actually have a map. Can I even show you this? Hold on a second. You have a map for where all the hidden packages are, and it gives you little pictures there to illustrate the locations, and then locations there. So pretty cool. So if you want to be thorough but don't want to take the time to go through all of Vice City yourself, you can use the map to find all the hidden packages. And this is just, as Brady Games guides often are, this is really fantastic and thorough. Takes you through all the missions. It's loaded with artwork and screenshots from the game. And the whole thing is in the same, 80s visual style as the manual. So it makes a wonderful companion piece. It's just a beautiful, beautiful book. And I highly recommend it to any Vice City fan if you want to make sure you get everything and just have a really nice companion piece to the game. Alrighty, so let me put this, set it over here. Alright, so next up, Vice City was quite lovely. It gave you an entire city to explore, amazing licensed soundtrack, much bigger city than Liberty City was in Grand Theft Auto 3. So not to be outdone, Rockstar decided to take it to the next level, so that crumb there, with the next installment, Grand Theft Auto 3 Part 3, I guess. Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. Yeah. Now, there was a bit of a kerfuffle recently with the various digital versions of this. I got it off the PlayStation Store before it was pulled, but apparently, for whatever reason, one or two of the licensed songs in this, Rockstar lost their license to, so they can't offer this in complete form anymore. That's the only difference as far as I'm aware. So they have re-released it in some online places with those songs removed, but apparently broke the game in the process. So I'm very happy to report that not only do I have the original PlayStation 2 version, but I also have the original uncensored digital version as well, and I have played it and tested it to make sure that it hasn't been patched or anything, and it is 100% complete. There's no question about that. So just got lucky there. I happened to snag it, and then maybe a month or two later it was pulled, so you can't actually get it anymore on the PlayStation Store, so that kind of sucks. So San Andreas, rather than giving you an even bigger city, they decided to give you an entire state. Yeah, so you've got an entire state to explore here. And much like Vice City and the previous ones, you've got this beautiful manual. Now, Vice City being all about the 80s, this one's all about the 90s. So 90s kids take note. I know there's a lot of excitement about this one now. And the recent current gen console, well, I guess second most current gen console version, Grand Theft Auto 5 actually returns to San Andreas. I was kind of miffed that they skipped over Vice City. I was hoping to see a beautiful high def Vice City, but what can you do? Maybe in another one. But and then once again we have this beautiful poster, much bigger poster this time, because of course it's a much bigger world. Oh god, you can't even see the whole thing. Yep, there we go. Can we pull back a bit maybe? Wow, that made a big difference. Yeah, so you get this beautiful poster, very nice. And then if you look on the back, you really get an idea of just how expansive the world this takes place in is. I mean, look at the size of that map. It's almost solid land. There's hardly any, I mean, there's a little bit of water, but nowhere near as much as Vice City, which is basically 3 interconnected islands. This is just massive. This is the game that actually broke my original PS2. It's a little bit processor intensive compared to the previous installments, and I think just because it's so huge, some of the earlier PS2s just couldn't handle it. That's my theory anyway. All I know is my original front loader PS2 died while I was playing this, so I blame San Andreas. And then of course, as with Vice City, I picked up the strategy guide for this one as well. Now this one, let's just do a comparison here. Look at how thick the Vice City one is. This is how thick the San Andreas one is. I mean, let's do the... I mean, it's like 3 times the thickness. It's massive. Just a massive, massive guide. So here, once again, you've got basically a big honking map that... holy moly, can I even... I can't even show you the whole thing. But, yeah, so you get much more detailed maps of all the locations and such there. So very nice. All... where to find, so it's odd job locations. Yeah, so this is all the various odd jobs that you can do throughout, just little side missions and stuff. And then inside, of course, again, we have, it very much follows the style of the, so you got more maps inside. Yeah, with a world as expansive as what you get in the Grand Theft Auto games, maps are really your most useful resource, because it really helps to know how to get from point A to point B. But just a fantastic, thorough, in-depth guide. This is the one that really took it to a whole new level because there was so much more stuff you could do. It was the first one where water wasn't lethal. Oh my god, I can swim! Yeah, so that was pretty cool. That added a whole new level. You could fly more planes and helicopters and stuff like that. Well, you could do helicopters in the in Vice City. You couldn't do planes, though, for some reason. I don't know. Grand Theft Auto 3 had the Dodo plane, which you couldn't even fly because it had no wings. And next up, also from Rockstar, call it Grand Theft Auto High School if you like. Let's just zoom back in, shall we? There we go. We have Bully. Yes. Now, Bully is also available on the PSN. For whatever reason, I still have yet to pick it up. I really need to get on that because this was a great game. I really enjoyed this one a lot, especially having had a horrible experience with high school. So for me, this was kind of cathartic, going back and, you know, being the one in charge. But very similar kind of thing. You've got, you notice the manuals are getting smaller as well, as we're getting closer to the smaller manual era, or no manual era. Nice little comic strip in there, and all kinds of stuff. So basically in this one, you're kind of like the new kid at high school at not Bullhorns, that's the Bullworth Academy. That's what it is. Yeah, Bullworth Academy. So yeah, the whole idea is you want to become the bully, the one in charge, and whip all the other students into shape. But yeah, really good stuff. A lot of fun. It's not as you know, brutally violent as the Vice City ones, or the Grand Theft Auto ones, obviously, but still very much the same type of thing. So here you can see we've got a lovely poster. So it takes place at basically a private school, and then here we've got a huge map. You can see it's not as huge an area as, of course, Grand Theft Auto or San Andreas. But then again, as you're only a kid, you mostly get around with bicycles and stuff like that, so it's not as you know, you don't steal cars and whatnot. So it's kind of like Grand Theft Auto Light, but a lot of fun. I really enjoyed this one a lot, and we'll definitely be replaying that from time to time. And it got a really nice, it's the Greatest Hits edition, but beautiful condition too. I'm actually really pleased with that, except for this, which was obviously because of the security sticker. I hate it when that happens. Alrighty, so carrying on. Now, the next two aren't strict free roamers per se, but they definitely have free roaming aspects to them, so I kind of lump them into the same category. Also from Rockstar Games, this was a bit of a controversial game when it came out, just because it was, I don't know, too violent or chaotic or whatever. But anyway, we have State of Emergency, yeah, which I got for $1.99. Can't complain about that. The price was certainly right. Yeah, this is one of the last PS2 games I got, actually. This is when they were starting to vanish from the shelves forever, so there was definitely a lot of deals to be had. So State of Emergency, essentially very mission-based and such, but within those missions you can definitely roam around as much as you like, and you know, it's fun, it's chaotic. One of the big things was you'd create all this chaos and then have huge crowds of people chasing you or following you or running away from you. So that was kind of its big selling point, was get huge crowds full of chaos and stuff like that. Honestly, I didn't play this one too much. I'd like to say I definitely got my $2 worth out of it though. But yeah, it's fun. I don't mind. It's, if you just want something that's a little more chaos-based and a little less heavy plot-based, you can't go wrong with State of Emergency. It's alright. It's good times. Yeah, so a shadowy corporation has seized control of your country. The people have taken to the streets in protest. A state of emergency has been declared. Now it's time for you to fight for your freedom. Yeah, but, I mean, it's not necessarily... It sounds so noble, but in actuality, you're pretty much there at the center of the chaos a lot of the time, and often causing a lot of the chaos. So, good times. Looting and rioting for all. Yeah, so good times. And finally, last but most definitely not least, I love this game. For whatever reason, I never got around to finishing it. I think because the later levels get really, really difficult. We have Destroy All Humans. Yes, where basically you play an alien who's sent to invade Earth and you know, steal brains and stuff like that, and you know, abduct cows. There's levels where you can fly around in your UFO and just level the city. It's great. But the thing I like about this is you can revisit previous areas and after you've completed the missions and just kind of wreak havoc. So it definitely has free roaming aspects to it. However, it's not a continuous free roaming world like Grand Theft Auto where you can just kind of go from point A to point B, you know, go from island to island, whatever. You'll go to like different towns and stuff, so you can select the town and go there, but you're still within the borders of the town. So you're free roaming within that particular area that you're in. But when you're in that area, you can do pretty much whatever the hell you want. So it's great. So I mean, you got this alien. He's got like big guns, and he's got psychic powers and telekinesis and all kinds of cool stuff. Where it got difficult and where I kind of crapped out with my playthrough was later on. You start meeting up with men in black who have had like experiments done on them based on I guess previous aliens that have come to the planet, and they have a lot of the same powers that you do. So it's fun in games when you're dealing out the destruction as the one with all the powers, but once you start fighting other guys that have the same powers as you, and sometimes more powerful powers than you, it definitely makes it more difficult, and I just kind of gave up after a while. I definitely like to revisit it, though. I remember having a hell of a lot of fun with this. There is a sequel as well. This one is set in the 50s. Perfect for an alien invasion game. There is a sequel set in the 60s, I believe, which I don't think actually came to PS2, at least not here in North America. Or maybe it did. I can't remember. I'll have to look that up. See if there's a subtitle here that tells you if it came out in North America. I'll look it up. But, yeah, just fairly straightforward manual. One of the things I really liked about this, though, is the voice acting. Your main character sounds a little bit like a gruff Jack Nicholson. And then the alien leader that you report to is voiced by the same guy who did the voice of Invader Zim. So, yeah, you're taking orders from Zim. How cool is that? And there you go. So quite a nice little stack of free roamers. Definitely spent more time talking about Grand Theft Auto just because it's way bigger and way more thorough. And as I said, the one that changed everything. But yeah, if you want some go anywhere, do anything fun, you can't go wrong with this little selection. Oh, wait, I forgot to mention, in case you're wondering, I do have Grand Theft Auto 5 on the PS3. This was graciously sent to me by a viewer. I actually have yet to fire it up. And since then, it's been remastered on the PS4. There's a PC version. Yeah, I'm way behind. But I'll probably play this on Twitch at some point. Likely won't be posting those playthroughs on YouTube just because of all the music involved. But you'll definitely see this on Twitch at some point. I just got to find the time. Because obviously with something like this, you don't want to half-ass it. You want to get in and, you know, do the story and do the missions and have some fun just with the chaos and whatnot. But very nice. I used to have Grand Theft Auto 4. I need to reacquire it. There's actually an edition that has all of the secondary ones as well, like the Ballad of Gay Tony and Sons of Anarchy. No, anyway, the motorcycle gang one. But quite a lot of stuff here. Oh, that's a code. We don't want to show that. And then here, just quickly. I know this is PS2, but whatever. It's related. A PS2 video, that is. Yeah, here we actually have an even bigger map of Los Santos. They've really expanded it, so you'll see a lot of familiar places in there, but also a lot of new stuff too. Just huge, massiveness. Yeah, pretty impressive there. Alrighty, that is. God, the bane of road maps. How do I refold this thing? There we go. Okay. Yeah, so we'll definitely be playing that on Twitch at some point. Until then, you'll just have to wait. Alrighty. So there we go. Quite a cool stack of games there. Yeah, very cool indeed. What can I say? Gotta love the go anywhere and do anything you want genre. Just before we go, I'd like to take a moment to thank all of my Patreon sponsors. Thanks, Patreon sponsors. You guys and gals are awesome. Special extra big thanks to my two current highest level sponsors, namely Kyle Pellegrini and Get Your Gorgeous On, which is an awesome e-mag written and maintained by the equally awesome duo of Michelle O'Toole and Simon Hedger. So check that out when you get a chance. Yeah, if you're thinking of becoming a sponsor, please do. No amount is too big, no amount is too small. Every little bit helps, and it all goes right back into the show in the form of equipment upgrades, game purchases for me to review and do videos about and playthroughs of on Twitch and all that good stuff. So yeah, every little bit helps, and your support is greatly appreciated. So please do consider becoming a Patreon sponsor and helping the Multimedia Chronicles get bigger, better, faster, stronger. Alrighty, that is it from me to you for now. So until next time, thanks for watching, and sayonara.